The London Stock Exchange shares rising to a record high after that they said they're in talks to buy financial data firm Refinitiv. And, Arash, listen, Refinitiv is one of those companies that we internally here talk about and use every day. You probably talk about it, use their data every day. The majority of Americans thinking, who is Refinitiv and why are they worth $27 billion?
Yeah, it's it was rebranded Refinitiv in what is potentially not the most attractive name when it was bought by Blackstone and a consortium of private equity investors out of Thomson Reuters, which may be a name that people know well. This was the unit that basically produced the finance and risk analytics for Thomson Reuters and the kind of ubiquitous Icon terminal, which is sort of the poor little brother to the much more better well-known Bloomberg terminal. These two are the major kind of devices which you'll find on trading floors around the world. Bloomberg terminals with a larger share than the Refinitiv ones. We broke this story on Friday night, actually about 6 p.m. in the Financial Times London time. At 1 a.m. on Saturday morning, the London Stock Exchange put out a statement confirming our story and saying they would pay $27 billion for this enterprise value. Now, how they're going to pay for this transaction was also spelled out in that, which is that they're going to issue about 12 billion pounds of new shares. That's roughly $15 billion in new stock to the Refinitiv shareholders. So those shareholders are Blackstone, the Canadian pension fund, Singapore's state fund, GIC, and Thomson Reuters itself, which retained a 45% stake in the business, which is why you saw Thomson Reuters Canadian traded shares soar on Friday on our report, because the market was still open there and the stock responded positively. And now you see the LSE shareholders. The big question was, would they find this deal attractive? And they clearly have, shooting the stock up as much as 15% this morning.
Is this deal, Arash, entirely designed to finally create a massive competitor to go after Bloomberg LP?
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely, Michael Bloomberg's empire is definitely now potentially going to have a real competitor. The Icon terminal just isn't as attractive a proposition to traders. It's been lacking in sort of design and many things. So that is still going to be a big question mark in terms of how they can develop it and improve it in the coming years. But they will be size and scale in a way that there's never been with this asset. And for the London Stock Exchange, this is an incredibly significant moment. 18 months ago, this company looked like it was dead. Its CEO was ousted in a governance bust-up with its board. It had a merger with its main European rival Deutsche Börse blocked by Brussels, and London itself, its role as a financial capital, was under assault, under threat by the potential Brexit, which still hasn't happened, by the way, the UK leaving the European Union. But all of a sudden, with this transaction, the LSE actually doubles in size, becomes both a data giant to take on Bloomberg and a much stronger competitor to things like Intercontinental Exchange and the CME Group, which everyone assumed after about 18 months ago that it was just a sitting duck to be bought by one of those companies, and now it will become a major competitor. And this is all done under its new CEO, David Schwimmer, no relation to Ross from Friends, but David was a Goldman Sachs partner who was brought in April, not a really well-known guy, brought in last April to basically steady the ship. And when he arrived, they had already been working on this plan, as I discovered over the weekend, to buy Refinitiv. The one issue was that its shares were not strong enough to pay for the deal. And what you've seen is the LSE share price steadily go up over the past 12 months, and that has given it the currency to be able to afford this transaction.